All right, let's talk about matrix multiplication. It looks super intimidating, doesn't it? But honestly, it's the engine behind so much cool stuff, from 3D video games all the way to AI. And get this, there's one simple trick to crack the whole thing. So let's dive in and break it down. Okay, so look at this. On the left, we've got two matrices. And then, poof, on the right, a totally new one just appears. It kind of looks like magic, right? But I promise you, it's not. It's all about a simple, repeatable pattern. The real question is, can you see what's happening here?
All right, so here's the secret. The whole thing, and I mean the entire thing, just comes down to this one idea: row by column. Seriously, that's it. Every single number you calculate follows that one simple rule. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Okay, check this out. This image pretty much gives the game away. See that red arrow? It's literally pointing out the entire secret. You take a row from that first matrix, and you match it up with a column from the second one. That's the move. That is the fundamental concept right there.
Okay, theory is great, but let's actually do one. We're going to walk through the very first calculation together, nice and slow, so you can see exactly how this whole thing works. So we want to find that very first number, the one that goes in the top left spot of our answer matrix. To do that, we only need to look at two things. First, the first row of the first matrix. You see it? 1, 2, 3. And second, the first column of the second matrix. That's 10, 20, 30. That's it, just those two. And here's how you combine them. You multiply the elements that line up. So the first number in the row times the first number in the column, that's 1 times 10. Then the second numbers, 2 times 20. And you guessed it, the third numbers, 3 times 30. Once you have those, you just add them all up. Okay, so what does that give us? Well, 1 times 10 is 10. 2 times 20 is 40, and 3 times 30 is 90. So now we have 10, 40, and 90. We are so close. Just one little addition left to do. And boom, 10 plus 40 plus 90, that's 140. There it is. That is the very first number for our answer matrix. The first piece of our puzzle is locked in. All right, now here's the best part. And I mean this. You already know how to solve the entire rest of the matrix. No, really, you just did it. It's the exact same thing, you just repeat that process for every single spot. So here you can see the whole thing finished. Let's just pick another number, say 146. Where does that come from? Well, it's in the first row and the second column, right? So you take the first row from the first matrix and multiply it by the second column from the second one. See that pattern? The position of the number you want tells you exactly which row and column to grab. It's awesome. Okay, you've seen how it's done. I think you're ready to level up. Let's put those new skills to the test with a slightly bigger problem. But don't you worry, the rules are exactly the same. Whoa, okay, so this one looks a little beefier, right? A 3 by 3 times a 3 by 2. But I promise you, that core idea, that row by column rule, has not changed one bit. Let's prove it. Let's just double check that first number, 42. Where'd it come from? We take the first row, 9, 5, 2, and the first column, 3, 1, 5. So we've got 9 times 3 plus 5 times 1 plus 2 times 5. That's 27 plus 5 plus 10, which is 42. See, it works. Same exact rule. Doesn't matter how big the matrices are. And you just keep doing that. For every single position, you repeat that row by column dance. Want to find the 4, 4? Easy. First row, second column. Want the 36? Second row, first column. And on it goes. What looked so complicated at first is really just a bunch of simple, predictable little steps. It's systematic, and honestly, it's incredibly powerful. So let's boil this whole thing down. What's the one thing you absolutely need to remember? It's just a simple 3-step process that you can use every single time. Okay, here it is, your 3-step cheat sheet. Step 1, pick your row from the first matrix and your column from the second. Step 2, multiply the matching numbers from that row and column. And step 3, add all those little products together. Bam! That's your number for that one spot. You just do that again and again for every other spot in the answer. So now you've totally got the how. You know the mechanics inside and out. But that opens up a much bigger and maybe even more interesting question, which is why? Why do we even do this? What kind of massive real-world problems in things like computer graphics or data science or even physics get solved using this exact method? That's something to chew on. Thanks so much for joining me.